What's going on, everybody? Today in the Dirt Road Therapy Shop, we're going to do a quick little mod to the injection pump in the ALH Volkswagen engine that I have in my Jeep. Now this starts by having to do something a little bit sacred. We got to cut into this 10mm socket. So the real mod is actually modifying a $3 socket. The actual work that we're doing to the engine is really just pulling one piece out, putting in a piece that you buy, and putting it back together. So it's not really modifying anything because you can always reverse it, but the real modification is to this little socket here, which is just so that we can access a specific bolt that is oddly shaped. Of course, there's a tool you can buy for this, probably costs 20 bucks. I didn't even look into it because I found out you can just cut one of these sockets. Why would you order something and pay more for it when you can just go to the store, buy a socket, and do it yourself? Let's get started. So all we have to do to this poor little fella is to cut one of the flat sides of this hex off of here. So we're going to take a grinder, we're just going to make 2 cuts like that, and then we're going to make a horizontal cut across to remove that piece. Basically just opening up one side of the socket so that it fits this special bolt. That's a little ugly. I could clean that up a little bit more. Now let's test and see if it works. So here's the engine, here's the injection pump. This is the bolt we're trying to remove. Let's test. See how it's just kind of a weird slotted bolt. So I had it wrong. We got to cut 2 sides of this out so that we have one big side open. Basically, I mean, you could cut both sides, would fit the bolt better, but then the socket wouldn't be very strong. So we got to cut out another side here so that these 2 flat sides align with the 2 flat sides of that. I think that's probably good enough for what it's for. So test it again. Alright, that's what I'm talking about. Good fit, nice and tight. It's got a well, first we want to clean this up so that any of this dirt and dust and debris around here doesn't fall into the injection pump, because that'll go through the pump unfiltered. So this is why it's called the Keystone Mod. See, it looks like a keystone. So what is this little piece and why do we need it? This goes into the pressure relief valve of the pump, and it's not going to prohibit the pump from ever relieving pressure if it needs to or anything like that. What happens is, as these pumps age, the design of this, the pressure relief valve kind of sucks. There's no better way to put it. So the valve can kind of fall apart, and if it does that, it blocks the flow of fuel through this area of the pump. So all this does is keeps that little valve from falling apart and blocking fuel, and it keeps the valve in check of where it should be, where it should start, and it could still, if it overpressurizes, it pushes up, keeping the pump from overpressurizing. So this little keystone goes inside this area that we're opening up. Make sure that socket is centered on this bolt as possible. It's not a real tight bolt. One little snap there, and now should be able to take it off the rest of the way with my fingers. There we go. There's also some rubber seals in here. Wouldn't be a bad idea to replace them. But yeah, see that little collar there? Kind of split like a snap ring. That guy should be flush with the bottom of this, the core of this valve. Alright, see how that's flat now? Hopefully you can tell the before and after on that. And the keystone fits right inside there. You don't want it lined up with the groove. It could fall out easily. That guy should fit in there nice and tight. Just gonna give it a real gentle tap. I don't want to bend it. Alright, there it is. Just going to wipe this off with a clean rag. And reinstall. That keystone is shaped so that it fits into the body of the pump here in this cavity in just the right way, and it'll just keep that valve from coming apart. Now, my valve wasn't falling apart, but I've pulled these apart before where that valve is just completely falling out of there and is blocking fuel flow. So probably not going to see any improvement from this, but at least I know I'll never have a problem. Some of the things that this can remedy are hard starting, smoky idle, and just overall top end performance. So if you do have a hard start after this, what you want to look into is those seals. Now, it is possible after doing this that you actually created a problem. On my buddy's car, we did this exact same mod with one of these exact same pieces. I bought a couple of them. We did it to his car, and for a couple days, it was fine. He was having trouble, long starts, long cranks to start, and that kind of seemed to get a little bit better, and then it just got worse. And he was like killing his battery trying to start the thing. We did it in the winter, so longer starts were kind of expected, but what it ended up being was those two seals on that little valve. So I didn't replace them on this today, but they're a good idea to replace when you do this. I know what I'm looking for if I have an issue, so if there's any fuel leak or any hard starts, I'll go right in there and replace them. No big deal. As you saw, that takes 5 minutes. But that was his issue. We were hoping this remedied it, and it made it worse. So just be mindful of that. It fired right up. One thing to look for, you may have a small hiccup at some point, just due to the fact that the pump might have a small air bubble in it now, but should resolve itself without having to crack injectors or do any kind of bleeding. All right, here we are again. Guess what? It leaked. So it turns out I have these two seals handy, and I'm going to replace them quick. These seals come as part of the Bosch Injection Pump rebuild kit. It's about 20 bucks, might be a little more now since the last time I bought it, but it comes with a whole slew of seals, and if you're resealing your injection pump, those two seals are included in that kit. I don't know of a way to buy them separately other than taking this to a store and finding the two seals that you need. Best if you use Viton rubber. Those are a perfect fit, so make sure they're lubed up before putting it back together, and make sure we put that keystone back in. And here's what it should look like, all built and ready to go back in. Now, where do you get these things? I wish I could tell you exactly. I wish I had a link to a product to buy these. Get on some Facebook groups, get on some forums, ask, where do I buy the Keystone Mod? Somebody will pop up. and offer to sell you one. It's a good idea to buy more than one. Some people do bulk discounts. I think when I got it, it was like 1 for 10 or 5 for 30 or something like that. And they all just drop in a paper envelope and ship to you. Hope that helps you guys out. This works on any Volkswagen car that has the ALH engine code. I don't know much about the previous engines with mechanical pumps, but it might work in those as well. I'm not 100% sure, but if you've got the Bosch VE style pump, either the 10 or 11 millimeter pump, this works for you. It'll prevent you from a roadside breakdown or a hard start sometime, and it may even fix some issues that you're having right now. Hope that helps you out, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Take it easy.